welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be doing another get ready with me for you guys, and the palette that is going to be the center of this get ready with me is this palette right here. This is the Cinderella Eyeshadow Palette from Hot Topic. Now, a couple weeks back, I did upload a first impressions and swatches video on my channel with this palette, or using this palette, I guess you could say. So if you haven't already seen that video and you want to see that first before seeing this get ready with me, I will have that down in the description box, so please make sure to go ahead and check that out. So yeah, obviously, because I'm using this palette and this is a get ready with me, I'm going to be using some of the eyeshadows on my eyes and really closing out this full-on review first impressions of the eyeshadows. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this video. If you would like to see this get ready with me and how these eyeshadows perform from the Cinderella Eyeshadow Palette from Hot Topic, then just keep on watching. Alright, so let's get started with this get ready with me. I already did like my face makeup, my bronzing, my blush. I also did my eyebrows, which I'm having an awful eyebrow day if you can't tell yourself. But you know what? We're just gonna ignore it for today. I'm trying to ignore it, so hopefully you can try to ignore it as well. This video is about the eye look, not the eyebrows. So let's focus on the eyes, not the eyebrows. Got it. And today I tried out this setting spray for the first time. Let me show you the correct side of the label. This is Covergirl's Outlast Active Cool Setting Mist. So I just tried this for the first time today. So far I like it. It's like a very cool, very fine mist. Like you could almost hardly feel it on your face, which could kind of maybe be a negative because I feel like you could really go through this stuff very fast, but it feels very nice on the face, so I'll have to keep an eye out on how my face makeup lasts throughout the day. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the Cinderella palette. And I don't really know what kind of look I want to create today. I don't even remember which eyeshadow shades I liked and which ones I didn't. I have not filmed in a very long time, and the last time I filmed was probably with the swatches video, which wasn't very long ago for you guys, but I honestly say it was probably over a month. Yeah, that's crazy. I have not filmed in a very long time, so it kind of feels weird for me today. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember my impressions of these eyeshadows because it's just been so long, and I have not touched this palette since because I wanted to keep it for this get ready with me today. Anyways, so here are just the eyeshadow shades right here. I'm very drawn to these purple shades, but I feel like I recently created a full-on purple look, so maybe we should go with the blues in today's look. I feel like I haven't done an all blue eye in quite a while, so maybe we could do that. I guess until we decide on the lid color and the overall look that we want for this eye look, I'm going to start by building up the crease using this color right here. This is in the color Dream Come True. So that's after a few coats. I feel like you guys are gonna hardly see it. It's a very sheer color, so I think we'll just stop and move on to the next color. I kind of want to go in with Pumpkin just to kind of build up the crease a little bit, since Dream Come True isn't as pigmented, but I don't know if Pumpkin's gonna come off way too orangey, and I don't know how that's gonna mix with the blues. So maybe we should just go on to our lid color and then we'll go back to the crease. So, I think what I'll do is I'll go in with this color right here. This is Bippity Boppity Boo, and I'm going to just apply that all over the lids. pretty surprised by this color. I wasn't expecting it to be as pigmented. But you definitely get better color payoff when you pat it in. I notice when you're kind of like, you know, kind of rubbing it in. I don't know if that's the right word. Or I guess just kind of blending it in with your brush, it kind of takes some of the pigmentation away. But overall, I think it's a pretty color. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the Bippity Boppity Boo color that we put on the lids, and I'm going to blend it in with this color down here, which is in the name Be Kind. And I'm going to go in with my little bit bigger tapered blending brush, and then I think I'll go in with my smaller tapered blending brush and then just kind of go back in with just the Be Kind color. You see what I mean when you kind of like start to blend out the color? It really takes the pigmentation away. And I feel like now it's almost like looking more of like a green, like a turquoisey green color. I think it like blended in with the color that we put in the crease. Instead of like blending nicely together so there's no harsh lines, I feel like the colors just kind of blended together. If that makes any sense. So now we're kind of getting this sort of color. I don't know. I'm not liking this so far, but you know what? We already have it on our eyes, so it's too late to turn back now. So let's try just applying the Be Kind color in our crease and see how that looks. Okay, you can definitely kind of see it. You definitely see, you know, more dimension on this eye than this eye, so that's looking pretty good so far. What we got going so far. I feel like I'm liking how this eye's looking, but this eye's looking a little patchy. Let's try to go in with this Dream Come True color again and see if we can just blend out any harsh lines. I may be regretting this because I think it just kind of like blends the colors together and gets this like weird green color. So here's what we have going on so far. I think we were able to save this eye look. I feel like it's not looking as like greenish anymore. I was able to kind of build up the colors a little bit more and add a little bit more into the crease. I'm still not liking how this eye's looking. Like, I feel like no matter what, there's always like one eye that I feel like just doesn't cooperate. And I feel like today it's just this eye. It's just looking a little bit more patchy compared to this eye. I can't tell if it's the eyeshadows or not because I'm really liking how this eye is looking. So I don't really know what's going on with there, but I think I'm going to add maybe Fairy Godmother into like the inner corners, kind of for a little bit of a highlight, and then also just to kind of brighten up the inner eyelids a little bit. And I'm just going to take a really small brush and just try to like pack that in. like it's not really showing up very well. Maybe I'll add in a little bit of Glass Slipper, which is this white color down here, see if that'll kind of help brighten it up a little bit more. So here's kind of what we got going on. I feel like you can kind of see it. I feel like it actually looks better on camera than it does in person. I feel like you can't really see it that well. I mean, it's obviously a little bit brighter, but I definitely had to really like pack it on there, and I feel like how much I packed on, the pigmentation really isn't all that there, and just because of how much I packed on, there was definitely a lot of fallout. So I feel like I definitely have more you know, eyeshadow in the inner corners and like kind of going onto the lower lash line than I would like it to look, but you know what? We're just gonna make it look, or make it work for this Get Ready With Me today. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start working on the lower lash line. So I'm just gonna take my little skinny brush right here and go in with the Be Kind color right down here. Like that, just lined it with that color, and then I just went in with like a little more flexible blending brush and just kind of blended it out. Nothing on this brush. And I think what I want to do is I want to take just the same brush and add some of the black color into this look. This is in the name Midnight. And I think what I might do is I'm just gonna like line on my upper lash line and just kind of blend it out a little bit, just kind of make it look a little extra smoky. Just like that. I feel like it looks very subtle, except again with this freaking eye, it's like clinging. Can you see that? It's just like this black eyeshadow is just clinging to this one spot, and like I'm trying so hard to like blend it out, but all I'm doing is blending the colors away. So I'm not liking this eye at all. This eye I'm liking, but this one I feel like is ruining the entire look. Now I'm just gonna go in with some black eyeliner. I will line my tight line and then my lower lash line, and then we'll take a little break and take a few minutes just to discuss some of the eyeshadows, what I'm thinking of them so far. Alright, I lied. I ended up applying some mascara and also my brow bone highlight. So the mascara, and I should probably tell you the eyeliner I used. So the eyeliner I used is this one right here. This is from Covergirl. This is their Perfect Blend pencil eyeliner, I guess, in the color 100 Basic Black. The mascara that I ended up using is from L'Oreal Paris. This is their Unlimited mascara in the color Blackest Black. And then the brow bone highlight color I ended up using is the white color in the palette in the name Glass Slipper. And I think our eyes are basically complete. So let's take a few minutes just to discuss some of the eyeshadows that we used in this palette. So just kind of a recap, the colors that we used on our eyes is Dream Come True, Bippity Boppity Boo, Be Kind, Fairy Godmother, Glass Slipper, and Midnight. So we used pretty close to half of the eyeshadows in this palette. And I will say the few colors that I really like that we used today that I would consider my favorites, I guess, out of all of the ones that we used are Be Kind, Glass Slipper, and Midnight. Even though we applied a glass slipper on the inner corners of our eyes and I feel like it didn't really turn out very well, or it didn't blend the best with the other blue colors that we had going on the eyes, I applied it as my brow bone highlight, and I think it is really pretty as a highlight color. And then as far as the other ones, this blue one right here and then the black color, I feel like both of those applied on the eyes pretty nicely, except on this eye. Again, I don't know what the hell is going on with this eye, but it's just not looking good. But on this eye, I feel like the colors were very easy to apply. They were pretty blendable. They didn't lose as much pigmentation when blending them out compared to some of the other colors, especially Bippity Boppity Boo, which is the main color that we put on the lids of our eyes. I feel like packing that color on, you get great color payoff, but I feel like the second you try to, like, you know, rub it on or you start blending, even if you're not blending that color, when you start to go back into the crease, or even on the lower lash line when I added the Midnight color in and I was trying to blend that out, any type of blending or rubbing away, you're definitely going to lose the pigmentation. And I feel like, especially I noticed with the lower lash line when I was applying the black Midnight color, it basically took the color away, like completely off my lid. So I do think it's a pretty color, but it's just not the best performance when it comes to blending and building an eye look. And then Fairy Godmother, I think it is a pretty color, but because we only applied that on like the inner corners of our eyes and like the very inner corner on our eyelids, I feel like we couldn't really see the color that much layering it over top of Bibbidi Boppidi Boo. I feel like we just couldn't really see it that much, so I don't really know what else to say about this color. It's not one of my favorite colors, but it's also not my least favorite. Like, I don't hate it. I just feel like we haven't seen it perform to its, like, full ability, if that makes any sense, to really give, like, my final thoughts on it. And then this color right here, it is a pretty color, Dream Come True, which is the first color that we put in the creases of our eyes and kind of use that color to blend out our crease, get rid of any harsh lines. I guess that's another color where I'm, like, not dying over it. It's not my favorite, but I also don't hate it at the same time. It's just not that pigmented of a color, so I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one as well. So those are kind of my thoughts on each eyeshadow individually, and now to kind of look at the eyes overall. Again, we're just looking at this eye because this one is just awful. I feel like overall, the eye look doesn't look bad. Like, you can see, like, the different colors, you can see the dimension to it, but I don't think this would be like one of my go-to palettes to grab for, just because of the blending issues, the pigmentation issues. But this palette does have the potential to create a really pretty eye look. Oh, and as far as fallout, we have not talked about fallout yet. I feel like in the pan, there is not as much fallout. Obviously, when I'm like tapping off the excess, there is a good amount of fallout. You might even be able to see, like, around the mirror, there's a good amount of fallout, and even some on my lap I can see a little, you know, bits and pieces of eyeshadows. But I feel like the fallout isn't as bad in the pan compared to, like, on your face. I feel like this is definitely a palette, or at least when you're using the blues or half of the colors that we have used on our eyes from this palette, this is just one of those palettes that you may want to use on your eyes before you do your face makeup. I was like trying to clean up my face, you know, throughout creating this eye look, and I think it cleaned up pretty well. I feel like you can't really see too much fallout on the face other than when we did the inner corners and we packed on a lot of eyeshadow. There is some like fallout right here that I tried to clean up, but because of those shimmery shades, you can definitely see some of the shimmers even down here. So yeah, there's definitely more fallout on the face, so that's just something to keep in mind. So yeah, now that our eyes are complete, we're just gonna finish up our face makeup with applying a highlighter, and then we will apply a lip color. So for highlighter, I'm going to dip into my Peppermint Frost palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I'm going to be using this color right here in the name Ugly Sweater. And for our lips, I have these three products right here. I'm going to use this liquid lip from Jeffree Star Cosmetics in the color Skin Tight, and then I'm going to use one or maybe both of these lip liners to outline my lips. If you guys have seen from my past maybe couple get ready with me's, I've been really into kind of going back to that 90s look of outlining my lips with a little bit of a darker color. I'm not going full 90s where I'm using like a black eyeliner to outline my lips, but just using a nude lip liner. Have I been saying eyeliner? Lip liner. You know what I meant. But just using like a nude lip liner and just kind of, you know, outlining it a few times kind of gives it a little bit of a darker tinge. I just feel like it looks really nice. It makes your lips look a little extra plump. So yeah, I haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet. Maybe I'll use both, but just in case, I'll tell you about each of them. So this one right here, you guys have seen a million times before. This is my waterproof lip liner, I think it's called, from BH Cosmetics in the shade Earth. And this one right here is from Wonder Kiss, I think is the brand. It's a gloss lip liner in the shade Nude, I'm pretty sure. And then it also says right here, Wonder to High Tech Beauty. So yeah, that's that lip liner. So I'll go ahead and apply those, and then this look will be complete. And that is it for this Get Ready With Me and review of the Cinderella palette from Hot Topic. So I kind of already went into like the specific shadows that we used and my thoughts on each of them as individual shadows, and then the eye look as a whole, using them all together. So I kind of won't go into all of that again. I don't want to, you know, sound like a broken record and repeat myself. So would I recommend this palette or would I not recommend it? That is the question. First, I'll start off for collection purposes. For collection purposes, I would 100% recommend this palette because the packaging of the palette is really what sold me on it, and I just love the, you know, collage style that they use with all of the different pictures of Cinderella and different scenes from the movie and just the little, like, you know, word bubbles right there. So yeah, the overall packaging, the size of it, how compact it is, how many eyeshadows that you get with it, the mirror, you know, the whole thing as a whole, I definitely recommend this palette. It's great for Disney lovers like myself. It's great for makeup collectors or Disney collectors. I just love this palette. And I wish I had like a better setup for my makeup, because if I did, I would definitely display this makeup so everyone could see it, and even I could see it all the time because I'm just so obsessed with the packaging of it. So for collecting means, I would definitely recommend this palette. Now, if you're someone that is more towards, you know, a makeup lover, not just a makeup collector, but a makeup lover that you like to apply makeup, whether it's maybe if you're a YouTuber or other social media influencer and like to post your makeup for the world to see, if you're just someone that likes to go out on the weekends or for a night out and like to do like a full-on eye look, or even for an everyday eye look, if you're someone that likes to apply eyeshadows on a daily basis, for those means, I don't think I'd recommend this palette. Now, to compare it to the other eyeshadow palette, the Beauty and the Beast palette that I got from Hot Topic, which I do have a couple different videos on, swatches videos and get ready with me's on that palette. I can link those down in the description box, so make sure to go ahead and check those out if you haven't already. To compare this palette with that Beauty and the Beast palette, this palette definitely performs better. Overall, I do like how the eye look turned out. We definitely had to do a lot of finessing to get everything to, you know, blend together and the pigmentation just right. So I think in the end, this look turned out looking pretty good. Is it my best, you know, eye makeup that I've ever done? No. But could I go out into the world and allow people to see me like this? Absolutely. But I just wouldn't consider this a palette that I would reach for to create an eye look all that often. Mainly because of, you know, everything that we've already talked about, the cons, the pigmentation, you know, blending them together, and it blends the eyeshadows basically away. You know, having to do a lot of finessing to get the eye look to, you know, look like this. They're just not the best performing eyeshadows, which really isn't a shock to me because it's not like Hot Topic is this big like makeup brand like Sephora or MAC or something like that. So yeah, for the eyeshadows alone, I wouldn't recommend this palette, but am I still happy that I have this palette? As a makeup collector, a Disney collector, and just an overall humongous Disney fan, I'm so happy I have this palette. It was only $16.90. I'm pretty sure I got it on sale for even cheaper than that, so it's an inexpensive palette. It's super adorable, and I'm just so happy that I have it for my collection. So yeah, those are my final thoughts, my review on the Cinderella palette from Hot Topic. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you have not seen my swatches video for this palette, I will link that down in the description box as well, so you can kind of see how the swatches perform compared to using the eyeshadows on our eyes, and really just get a full-on review of everything. So yeah, check out those videos in the description box. Again, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna get going for now, but I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone!